A 19-year-old in Miami leases a green sports car for $1,200 a day, spending his entire inheritance on a 72-hour shoot to sell courses on financial freedom. By the end of the week, the sports car is back at the rental agency and his bank account holds exactly $14. The digital footprint of this 3-day illusion will live forever, pulling hundreds of unsuspecting followers into a shadow economy where looking wealthy is the only way to survive. Hidden behind these curated feeds is a single, overlooked detail that instantly exposes every pretender. A quiet mistake that even the most careful actors make. This detail hides in plain sight, right there. It's the silent struggle between actual cash flow and the exhausting theater of maintaining appearances on the internet. Rental car ballers rely entirely on key fobs they don't actually own. Posing with bright yellow sports cars parked outside luxury hotels, they wait for tourists to move out of the camera frame. These drivers avoid using the vehicles for travel, focusing instead on creating 60 seconds of video content before returning the keys to a rental counter at the airport. Mileage limits. Under the rental agreement, strict caps mean they spent $500 to drive 20 miles around a single city block. But the rental car is just a prop, unlike the next group who actually pretend to own entire apartment complexes. Influencer landlords stand in front of residential complexes they don't own, claiming they purchased them using a secret real estate strategy. They tell their followers that passive income from these units paid for their luxury lifestyle. A quick search of the local property registry reveals the complex belongs to a massive institutional firm, while the influencer merely rents a one-bedroom unit on a month-to-month lease. Debt. Selling a dream built on someone else's equity is how they pay their own monthly rent. That monthly rent is often paid with a plastic card that is quietly reaching its limit. Credit card millionaires operate on borrowed time and high interest rates. Living in a world of high credit limits and minimum monthly payments, they chase the appearance of wealth. You'll see them ordering premium bottle service at exclusive clubs, charging the entire night to a card with a 24% interest rate. Designer clothes and shoes won't be paid off until the year 2030. Late. Suddenly, the payment is late, the illusion works no longer, and the collection calls begin behind closed doors. Except some of them don't even use credit cards to buy their luxury items, choosing instead to borrow them for a few hours. Timepieces offer another avenue for instant prestige without the actual cost. Instead of buying these watches, they participate in watch-sharing clubs or borrow them from wealthy acquaintances for specific events. Gesturing constantly, they make sure their left wrist is visible in every photo and conversation. They'll talk about the history of the movement and the waitlist at the boutique, pretending they've owned the piece for years. Returned. At midnight, the watch goes back into a protective case to be returned to its real owner. But this illusion isn't limited to accessories, as some people rent entire living spaces to complete the picture. Apartments are rented by the hour on digital marketplaces, designed for content creators who need a luxury background. You'll notice these spaces look suspiciously clean, lacking any personal touches like family photos or books. Creators arrive with 3 suitcases of clothes, changing outfits every 20 minutes to film a month's worth of videos. Temporary. Once the booking ends, they return to a crowded room they share with 3 roommates in a cheap suburb. What nobody expected was how these physical stages would transition into purely digital fabrications. Crypto screenshot flexers live in a world of digital wealth created with a simple inspect element command. They post images of trading accounts showing millions of dollars in gains to prove their market skill. Close examination of the blockchain shows these are either demo accounts using fake money or simply stolen images from real traders. Using these fake screenshots, they lure followers into paid chat rooms where they promise to share their secrets. Fake. Only the subscription fee paid by their victims represents real money changing hands. Yet, even the most successful digital screenshots can't buy a permanent seat at the front of the plane. Travelers in the business class once category stretched their budget to buy a single premium ticket for a one-way upgrade. Hours are spent documenting every detail of the flight, from the warm towel to the welcome drink. Posting these photos over the next 6 months creates the impression they always travel in luxury economy. In reality, their next 10 flights will be in the last row of the economy cabin, squeezed next to the toilets. Short-term prestige is purchased at the cost of long-term comfort. Except the desire to show off doesn't stop at travel, extending into the social dynamics of the group chat. Sponsors of the group chat always insist on paying the bill for everyone at dinner. Generosity becomes a shield to maintain their status as the wealthy benefactor of their social circle. Behind this display is a desperate struggle to survive the financial fallout. They'll spend the next 3 weeks eating instant noodles and avoiding their phone to recover from a single night of vanity. Broke. Friendship is purchased with money they don't actually have. This need for social validation is even more obvious in the clothing they choose to wear. Logos act as a loud shield against financial insecurity. Wearing shirts and belts covered in massive designer emblems, they ensure nobody misses the brand. Real wealth is usually quiet while insecurity is loud. Most of these heavy logo items are cheap counterfeits purchased online or bought from outlet stores that manufacture lower quality goods. Emblems. They're walking advertisements for brands that don't care about them. Yet, the most dangerous pretender hides in silence, claiming to control millions while wearing no brands at all. Investors of this type claim to fund multiple startups and real estate projects behind the scenes. Speaking in complicated financial terms, they mention non-disclosure agreements to avoid sharing details. When it comes time to actually write a check, they disappear or make excuses about capital calls and wire transfers. Their wealth exists only in the pitch decks they carry and the meetings they schedule. Vapor. None of their claims are backed by actual cash. Our search leads back to the single detail that exposes them all: the quiet mistake that the 19-year-old in Miami made during his 72-hour shoot. In his rush to film the dashboard of the green sports car, he forgot to crop out the warning light showing the car was overdue for an oil change. The rented illusion of wealth is always running on borrowed time, waiting for the check to bounce or the engine to fail. Miami's sun sets on an empty driveway, while the sports car is parked back in the rental lot, waiting for the next dreamer to pay for a day of pretend.